Hi everyone and welcome to San Isla. Now this is my Sims 3 world that I have been working on and off for the past few years now, and the world is available to download right now. All links that you need are in the description box below. But I can finally say that the world is now finished and I'm so excited to share it with you and show it off to you today. Now, you may have seen the overview that I posted a couple of years ago in 2 parts, which, if you did, first, let me apologise for the awful audio back then. Hopefully this will be much better today, even though I don't sound the best because I am getting over a cold at the moment. But secondly, I have made quite a few changes to the world and the Sims in it as well since then, so I've tweaked quite a few things until I was truly happy with it. Now, this is a large world and it's made up of about 5 distinct areas, a bunch of private islands, and we've also got 3 dive lots to explore as well. We have this Embarcadero. This is like the beachfront part of our town. And we also have a marina over here with some houseboats and a community boat. We then have the downtown area, which is our main central hub of the island. And I also include the mountain in this area as well as being sort of connected to it. So that's downtown and the mountain. Over to the left, we have the countryside and farming area part of town. So we have a lot of farms over here, our equestrian centre. And then a little bit further north, we have Emerald Lake with some community lots and housing lots as well. Over here, we have our Supernatural Bay area. And we have a magic school, which we'll come back to in just a bit. And then finally, over to the far right, we have the Bayou, which is more of a swampy and misty kind of area. So we're going to take a look at each area in detail, don't worry, but I wanted to give you a brief overview of what the world and the map looks like from this view. If you did watch my original overview a few years ago before the world was finished, you'll know that I created a bunch of Sims that are inspired by my favourite TV shows and movies and things like that to make them really fun characters in game. Now, I'm not the best creator of Sims by any means, and I use very, very limited custom content, usually just some hairs, maybe a little bit of makeup. So they're nothing amazing. Don't get your expectations up too high. But I'm really proud of how they turned out, and it makes the game super fun for me to see a lot of faces that I have all these connections to outside of the game. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a little bit fun. But before we dive into the full world overview, let me just give you an idea of the families that we have. Now, this world is populated with 24 families at the moment. There originally was a lot more because I pulled in a lot of EA Sims from other worlds as well, but then I realised it was a bit overkill, and obviously it affects the world quite a bit if you have so many different families, which I was really stuffing it to the brim when I first made the world. So now I've culled it down quite a bit, and we've got just some really good mix of families, single Sims, some supernaturals, and we have a mermaid as well. So I'll show you all of them. First of all, we have Brandon Shepherd, who is a tribute to one of my favourite creators, Landros. We'll take a look at him in a little bit more detail, and I'll explain that when we get to it as well. We have Christopher Steele, because he's one of my favourite characters from Sunset Valley. So I've edited him quite a bit, but he's in the world. We then have one of my favourite Sims that I've made, which is Blair Valentino. We'll take a look at her shortly as well. Over at the marina, we have 3 brothers that live together on a houseboat called the Grayson Brothers. They were made from a Sim in Monte Vista that I kind of just edited up quite a bit and ended up turning 1 into 3 basically. So because I wanted a bunch of brothers, so that was a really fun one to make. Moving on up to the downtown area, we have Jason Clary, who were inspired by Shadowhunters. We have the Hallowell family from my favourite show growing up, which was Charmed. We have Paige, Phoebe, Piper, Leo, Cole, and Wyatt. I really wanted Prue and Chris, and I even wanted Penny and Patty as well, but obviously with the housing limits, I didn't want to overstuff the family, so I just stuck to those, and I'm really happy with them. We've then got Elena and Bonnie from the Vampire Diaries. And over here we have the Swan family from Twilight, which is Charlie, Renee and Bella. If we head on over to the countryside, we've got some more families over here. Now we have Hunter Forest, who is a sim I created from Appaloosa Plains, I believe. I took a sim from there and tweaked him a little bit, and he's got this really cute dog Wolfie. We've then got Gracie Loveland, who I also pulled in from Appaloosa Plains, I believe, because I have some good memories with her when I was doing an Ultimate Sim personal game, and she looked after my horses when I was ready to leave the town. And then we have Jackson Farmwell and his horse Chestnut, who live over here as well. We then have Darren Dreamer, pulled in from Lucky Palms. Again, one of the characters I really like, so I wanted to include him in the world. And back when I was first making it, I was really struggling for a good amount of bachelors, so I made sure to pull in a few if I couldn't think of any at the time. We have Lolita Goth, who is a really fun sim and also a tribute to Yasmin's Corner, and we're going to talk more about her very, very shortly. Heading on up, we have the Addams family, who I have spelt with one D just because I prefer the way it looks, but I know it's usually two. But we have Gomez, Morticia, and Wednesday here. We have a celebrity family, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, and Meredith. I only made Travis actually yesterday. Originally, I had Taylor Swift in here for a little while. She was the last sim I added because I wanted a celebrity. And obviously, I'm a huge fan. I've been to the Eras Tour, and it was a fun way to include her in the game. You may have seen her in the trailer that I posted as well. But I really felt bad that she had this massive house, just her and Meredith, and I thought it'd be really fun to have Travis in there and have a family there. So we have the Swifts. Next up, we have one of two fairies in the game. We have Freya Bloom, and then over here we have Luna Rose. Right next to her, we have one genie, which is Aladdin Arabia. He's over here. Of course, inspired by Aladdin. Right up in the corner here, you may have seen her from the trailer, but we have Ariel Sealand. She is the mermaid that I created for the town, and she lives over here in a pretty fun house I'll show you in a bit. Heading on down, we've got our last few families. We have the Cullen family from Twilight. So this is all the Cullens: Carlisle, Esme, Rosalie, Emmett, Alice, Jasper, and Edward. We have the Salvatores, which is Stefan and Damon, and we also have Catherine living there as well. And then finally, we have two more families over in the Bayou. We have Lincoln Blake, whose name come from the 100 with Lincoln and Octavia Blake, but he's not actually inspired by anybody, just the name. He's just a sim that I created and put into the world. And then we have the Black family, which is Jacob and Billy. Now, I have gone ahead and added jobs for all the sims and some relationship connections. So, for instance, Jacob recognises that Billy is his dad. He's also got a friendly relationship with Edward. Bella's got a really friendly relationship with both Jacob and Edward and the rest of the Cullens. But I haven't made any romantic connections because I wanted to leave that open for your story progression or for whoever you choose to play in the world if you don't create your own sim and want to play with the in-game characters that I've made. So I've left romantic connections out of it unless they're part of their family. For example, in the Cullens, we've obviously got Jasper and Alice that are together, so they are in a romantic relationship. Same with Carlisle and Esme, and so on. But again, if you want to play any of those, you can easily change that with NRUS if you want to, or the regular game way. So that is an overview of our families, and we will look at them all in more detail shortly. But before we take a full look at the entire world, the household, and the lots in detail, I just want to cover a few things to do with the actual download and installation of this world itself, especially for anyone who is not familiar with it. If you have downloaded a custom world with a save file before, then of course just skip this part if you'd like to. But first, I did create the world using all expansion packs and then some store content as well. Not a lot, but some. And obviously, if you don't have this store content, it won't matter. The game will just replace it or remove it by default. In the folder that comes with the download, there is a reference page that lists all the store content that I do use. So if you want to just check that, it's all there listed for you. Secondly, this entire world was made custom content free. No custom content at all was used in creating the world itself. But there is a small exception to this that I want to explain. So we have a lot in town over here called the car dealership. And I did download a bunch of custom cars that I've had in my game for quite a few years, and I use them in all of my personal games. So I wanted to have a really fun variation of cars. And when we come to characters like Bella, she's obviously got a red pickup truck, just like you would see in the movie. So I've included details like that. Of course, these are completely optional. If you don't have them, EA will just replace them as standard in-game, but I wanted to include them for fun. And the only other exception to that is some of the Sims have custom hairs, and I think there's maybe 2 or 3 outfits. But what I've done is I've included a reference page with all the CC that I have used, with clickable links back to the original creator for you to download them. However, if you don't want to download any custom content and install it in the game, don't worry, I've got you. What I've done is I've gone ahead and made a CC-free version of this save file. So you won't have to worry about loading up your game and every sim having that awful default brown bob hairstyle. I wanted to take that stress away and save you some time and hassle. So I've gone in and edited the Sims already, changed their hair to the closest EA alternative that I could find. And I've done the same with the cars at the dealership because it populated it with all of the same car basically. So I've gone in and added some variations there. But if you do obviously want the world to look exactly like I'm going to show you today, especially when it comes to the Sims, I highly recommend going through that list and downloading that content if you would like to. But it is completely optional, and that's why there are 2 versions of the save file available. So when you download the world, as I mentioned, there are 2 different save files. We've got the standard master save file, which is the one I'm going to be showing you today. And then we have the CC-free master, which I explained is included as well for you if that is your preference. And this is because editing game has been so problematic over the years that it turned out to be the best workaround to create the world first and then populate it in game through creating a save file. This allowed me to make the world in a lot more detail with a lot less stress and problems and glitches along the way. So what this means for you is that when you download the world, you'll pop one of the 2 save files that you choose into your saved folder, which is usually your documents, electronic art, Sims 3, and then saves, I think it's called. It might be saved games, but I think it's saves. So you'll pop one of them in there after you've installed the world. When you get to your game selection screen, you can either select the world from the drop down, as usual. However, doing this will mean that it will load a completely blank version of the world. So there will just be lots, spawners, and obviously all this environmental decor and plants and stuff. This is a fantastic option if you want to have an empty world that you can build up yourself, or if you want to start a forever save file for the same reason, or maybe you're doing a build a city challenge. This will be great for that. But if you do want to play it fully populated like I'm going to show you today, then just make sure to pop one of those save files into your folder, and you'll choose that as a saved game from the menu. From there, you can either copy and rename it to whatever you want to name it, or just load it up in game like this, and then go to save as. That way you don't overwrite the original save file and you've always got it there to use. So depending on whether you want to play with a little bit of custom content on The Sims or without, just choose whichever save file is right for you. The full guide on installing the world and obviously the reference pages to list any custom content is all going to be included in the folder for you to make it as easy as possible. But with that all covered, let's jump into the full world overview. Now, we're going to start right here in the Embarcadero and we'll work our way around the map so I can show you everything in as much detail as possible. But to save us jumping in and out of buy mode, we're actually going to head into a sim and look at everything in game. Now, you may recognise this lovely mermaid from the trailer that I posted. This is Ariel. She's going to be the one we're going to use to look at everything. And she lives in this very cool house. Although I am now wondering why I didn't actually sink it into the ground and I made it above ground. But I wanted to give her a home that was surrounded by water and kind of like bringing the ocean to the house. So she's got a really fun pool area that she loves to swim around in, and it's full of all the underwater decor. And it looks really cool from inside the house as well, because obviously you've got these beautiful glass windows that show the water behind. This is a really fun one to build and I really love this. So that is Ariel. So I think what we'll do is I'll make our way around the coast first and then we'll start with the marina. Now, opposite her, we have a port over here. I've tried to place a few ports around the world so that it's easy for you to dock your boat in different areas if you want to. They are decorated very plainly on the inside. I think it's mostly just decoration. Let me just... we've got an all-in-one, and then we've got a really nice lounge area. And a lot of the ports will look very, very similar, but I really love this. I love how it turned out. And I called this Midnight Sun Port because originally the island that Ariel lives on was meant to be a Midnight Sun Island. That's why that port is called the Midnight Sun Port. Moving on down, obviously we're going to skip this area for the moment because we're going to come back to it in greater detail. So let's keep going. I'm just going to focus on this area. Now we have this beautiful big blue lagoon area, and we've got this road that goes all the way around. We've got a lovely port over here. So if you want to dock your boat in this area and have some stunning views, then this is a great place to do that. Over here, this is set up for a resort. I thought it would be the perfect spot for it. I haven't built anything. I left it completely blank. It's just got the desk there. But I thought it would be a fantastic idea to have a resort here, either overlooking the lagoon or overlooking the endless ocean behind you. And obviously this is a dive spot in here, so this is a great place to come and stay if you want to do some diving. There are 3 dive lots in the world. So the first one is over here. This is Mariner's Rock. It's got a sunken shipwreck and it's only a small lot. This is intended to be the beginning kind of dive lot where you can first go. And I've made it available from level 1 so that you don't have to get to level 2 from snorkeling. The second dive lot, let me just shoot all the way up to the top here, is up here and it's called Treasure Cove. This one I believe is available from level 5, but if you get to level 4, you can actually explore the cave in the first dive lot and that will bring you here from level 4. Finally, going all the way back, we have the Blue Lagoon. This is our final and biggest dive lot. This is intended to be used from level 8 and above. However, from Treasure Cove, once you are level 7, you can access it via exploring the cave that you'll find there. Now, the dive lots are the only lots I won't go into detail and show you again in-game. I did put clips of them in the trailer, but the reason for this is I don't want to spoil where treasure chests and things like that are. So I'm going to let you explore them yourself in-game. Heading on down, we have quite a few private islands here that you can use. Some of them have got lots already placed on them. We've got a sort of replica build of the Serenity Spa here, which I'll zoom down and just show you. I did delete all my cache files before loading up the game, so some textures may take a minute to load in. There we go. Okay, so this is pretty much Serenity Spa from the store, just rebuilt. It's a really nice wedding venue. I've made quite a few edits to what the original lot would look like. But it's pretty much got everything you would expect. It's got your massage tables, it's got the wedding venue, the pool, and so on. Over here, we have the Paradise Pools, which I believe come from Sunlit Tides. I edited it a little bit, but I just wanted like a nice pool area over here, and I was really stuck on what to put on this island. But of course, you can delete it and use it as a residential lot instead. But this is just a nice place to come if you haven't had enough of swimming in the ocean already. A little bit further up, just opposite the marina, we've got the Rookery Island. And this obviously has an ornamental lighthouse in the background. But there's also a big lot here that you can choose to build a house on and have direct access. And again, we've got beautiful views surrounding it in all directions. I thought this would be a lovely place to live. Moving up a little bit further, we've got this beautiful waterfall cave that leads to these tide pool areas. And I'm just going to pop down and show you this. You probably remember this from the trailer if you saw it. But this is absolutely beautiful. Let me just pop it into live so we can see. So this has got some beautiful views. We've got some fishing spots in here as well. It's really, really lovely. And I just think it looks really pretty. Now, the world has every spawner as well. I think the only exception is some of the into the future ones that you need when you go to Utopia and Dystopia and so on. But for the most part, you can find every spawner in here. And there's loads of different fishing spots and things. So it gives you a reason to really explore the rest of the world. But I love this area. I think it is so pretty and I'm really proud of how it turned out. With that, we've seen everything around the outside of the map, the kind of coastal area. So now we can dive into the actual main areas of the island itself. I'm going to start right here in the Embarcadero. So, starting right here, this is our main beach area. And again, I really love how this turned out. I will do my best to point out store content as we go through, but as I mentioned, they are listed in the reference page in the folder for you. But this is one example. We've got the surfing station right here at the beach. Let me just pause that because I don't want her going crazy and moaning about stuff. But this is our main beach area. We've got the lifeguard chair. We've got some fun activities for your Sims to do. We've got a lovely lounge area, some play items for the children. We've also got the fire pit and we've got an all-in-one bathroom over here as well. So I tried to cover all bases. As you can see, really pretty lot. Really love how this turned out and it feels very tropical and lush. Got this lovely walkway in between as well. Now, either side of our main beach, we've got two piers. We've got a wedding style pier and we've got a fun style pier. So let's start over here at the wedding pier. Now, this was made to be one of, I think, 3 or 4 wedding venues in town. I wanted to have a variation of places where you can get married because that's always the struggle of never having a nice place to go and having to kind of throw something together in your back garden a lot of the time. So if you do want some location weddings, this is a really nice one. You've got the beautiful ocean views behind you. And if we go on down here, you can see very, very pretty. It will make for some lovely photos, I hope. But we've got our main seating area. And then under these 2 little gazebos that you saw here, we've got one for where you put your cake and you can eat at the buffet. And then we've got a dance floor and, of course, some bathrooms there as well. So hopefully that will be a really fun one. I've used this a bunch of times. I really love this venue. Now, over this side, we have the fun pier. So we've got a lot of gaming things like a pool table. We've got a big arcade room and claw machines. We've got a place where you can come and eat, of course. And I did find the carousel. If you saw my very first terrible overview, I had to swap it out for the balloon because I couldn't find the carousel and it disappeared from my game. But I did find it and that was always what was intended to be here. So we've got the carousel right there. And this is on the pier by this beach. Now, walking along here, we do have this lovely boardwalk area that you can see. This is not decorated, but you can if you want to. But I just thought this would make for some lovely views as you're walking along. So yeah, really love this area. So, with that main front beach taken care of, let's start up here and we'll work our way around. So over here we have our San Isla military, nothing too fancy, it's just a rabbit hole that's been decorated. And there we go, now everything's fully loaded. As I mentioned, I did delete the cache before I started, or the cache files. So some of the textures are going to take a moment to load, but that's okay. We then have the Early Learning Centre from Aurora Skies. If you don't obviously have this lot, it will of course not populate here, but if you do, this is where it will be. I haven't really done anything with this lot. It's pretty much how it comes in game. I think the only thing I did was add a few extra items and some potties and things like that. That is literally all I did with this lot. I honestly don't really use it. I put it in the world because I always say I'm going to use it with children, but I still end up going to the main library to do the books and things. Next to that, we've got the delicious indulgent bakery. Again, this is a lot from the store. And if you don't have it, it won't populate here. But if you do, this is where it's located in the game. And again, I've left this as it comes. I think it's lovely the way it is. So this will be pretty much how you'd expect. So that is our bakery. In front of that, we've got one of many starter homes. One of the things I wanted to do was make sure there was a good variety of starter homes, because originally I think I only had 1 or 2, and one of my goals was to have at least one in each main area of the island to have some fun variations to choose from. And this is meant to be just kind of like a converted shipping container kind of look. I'm just going to open it up so I can show you, but it is very bright and colourful and makes for a really nice starter home alongside the beach. So we've just got a very standard little living room, tiny kitchen, and then upstairs you've got your bedroom, bathroom and a little outdoor space. But it also comes with a trailer for you to purchase boats as well, which is nice. Again, I'm not the best at designing homes. I tend to be better at community lots, I feel. But there are a few that I'm super proud of and that I really like. And to be honest, I've kept them very plain and simply decorated for the most part because I know that people love to go in and renovate homes and really make them their own. So I didn't want to overstuff them with a bunch of clutter and unnecessary decoration. So a lot of the houses are just decorated to be livable and very plain and simple for you to have full creative control. Directly opposite, we have Rebecca's Cafe, although this is called Tropicana Cafe here, but it is Rebecca's Cafe from Island Paradise. I just pulled it in and added a professional bar, and I think the coffee bar is in here as well. That's the only change I've made to this one, and I think I recoloured some of the chairs and things, that's all. Very, very simple. Next to that, we've got the Stingrays Sports Centre. Now, I didn't want a massive stadium in the town. I don't really use it too often. But there are a bunch of Sims here that are in the sports career. So I wanted a really nice location that fit in with the world. So I've pulled in this one from Sunlit Tides. And it's just got a soccer goal out the back and a stadium counter. But it fits in really nice with this world, I think. So I'm really glad that I went with this one. Moving a little bit further along, back to where the beach and the piers are, we have our grocery store and our diner. Now, I've tried to include a grocery store and diner in the 3 main areas. So the downtown, the Embarcadero, the countryside and the Bayou. So 4 actually. Because there's nothing worse than being on the complete other side of the map and needing to go and get something to eat or to purchase something from the grocery store. So I've tried to make it really convenient. I was originally going to put subways and things like that in, but it really just didn't fit with the vibe of the island, and they can be a pain for routing as well. So I decided to just do things like that instead to keep it nice and simple. But this is another piece of where you'll see store content. So we've got the humble harvest stands from the store where you can come and buy fruits. But yeah, really, really love this. I think it turned out really nice. Of course, that is just the rabbit hole. Now, one of the things I tried to do is in these areas here, obviously we've got a rabbit hole over here, but there's also buildings that I have built and I wanted to kind of make them look like they were the rabbit holes or as close to it as possible. I'm really glad with how they turned out. Now, you can't replicate them exactly, but you can do a pretty good job of getting them close. Obviously, the windows and things are not exact because you can't access the ones they used, but I think it looks really good. So this is one of 2 plazas that we've got either side. This one here has the business and bookstore, the Tradewin Bistro, and then over here, if I bring this down, this is our consignment store, and this is just called a thrift store. So this is your regular consignment. Your alchemy consignment is over at Magic School, and I'll show you that in a bit. But this is where you'll come to consign regular items if you want to. This is the Western Embarcadero Plaza. Right next to that, we've got the Flying V's Coffee House, which you've probably seen. It comes with the game and it's in pretty much most worlds, I think, at this point. Then we have our theatre. Again, this is a standard rabbit hole. I've just added a few little decorations outside. Nothing too impressive there. Then we have the Eastern Embarcadero Plaza, which is designed to be a mirror of the one we've just looked at over there. The one that looks like the Tradewin Bistro is actually our gym and wellness centre. We've got a cafe and we've got a salon. So let's take a look at those. So in this corner first, we've got the little blue cafe. That is actually what it's called as well. And you can come here and have pizza or you can order food. Obviously, we're paused. It hasn't spawned a sales agent just yet, but there's always someone here for you to come and buy food as well. Directly opposite, we have Income Beauty Salon. And coming down here, this is where you can come to have a makeover. You can get a tattoo. And you can even practice design yourself as well. Really love how this turned out. I wish I could. Can I turn on all the lights? Yeah. Really love how this turned out. It's very, very cool. Absolutely love this. And then finally, we've got our gym and wellness centre. And I really love this lot as well. I use it so much. So we've got a really nice pool in here. We've got some waterfalls, some lounging areas and hot tubs. We've got the saunas and a tanning booth. Upstairs, we've got the small gym area. We've got bathrooms, massage table. And then we've got the dance bars, which are an item from the store that will be on that list I mentioned. But if you don't have them, not a big deal. Don't worry about that. But that is our spa and wellness centre. So moving on next to that, we've got our museum. and this is classed as an art gallery, so you can come here for all your artistic skills. But if I just pop the walls up a moment here, so this is where you can come and get inspired, you can view the art, but there's also a place upstairs for you to practice the skills. So we've got the architectural design bench there, forgot what that was called. We've got inventing stations, we've got sculpting, we've got painting, of course, everything you could need. And I did remember to put all-in-one bathrooms here so that if you do catch on fire, you're okay, you can quickly put yourself out. I don't know about you, but it happens to me all the time when you're learning that skill. And then finally up the top, if you're taking a break or you want to do some painting with some amazing views, you can come here and grab something to eat, you can paint, you can relax, or use a telescope. And that is our museum. Moving on along this road, we've got 2 more community lots in this section. This is the Amazon Cafe, which was intended to be used as a kind of writing cafe. So again, you've got the coffee bar here. Really nice little place to come and grab something to eat and drink. And upstairs is more of a chill out spot where you've got the skill books and you've got some computers and a blank one if you want to bring your own. So this is a really nice place to come as well. And you've got those amazing beach views out the window. So I think that makes a really nice spot to sit and write. Next to that, we've got the Tiki Bar. Now, I originally made this for Sunlit Tides years and years ago, but I thought it would fit perfectly in this world, so I brought it in here as well. Now, let me just open it up real quick, because obviously it's not open just yet. It's very, very simple. We've just got a karaoke machine in here and some tables. You've obviously got the pool outside where you can get a drink as well. And then upstairs, you've got the actual bar itself. So you can get a drink, you can dance the night away, you can use the keggers and the bubble machine. And yeah, I really love this lot. It's a lot of fun to come to it, and it makes for a nice bar. So we have a couple more lots to see in this area. We've now seen this entire section. We're just going to do this back road here, which is 1 more community lot, and then we've got some houses. Now, this is a bar that I actually pulled in from Roaring Heights. Originally, if you saw my first overview, you know that I had a bunch of bars over here as well. I'd pulled in things like Diamond Bucks and so on, and the porta party venue, and put them over here. But I've now moved them back up to downtown, which is where I originally wanted them to be. But this one is called the Luminous Beach Bar, and I've tweaked it quite a bit. So I haven't done anything too crazy, but I have redecorated it quite a bit. So we've got our main floor here with some bubble bars and the main bar. You've then got a karaoke section up here. We've got a dancing section up here. And then finally up the top, we've got some pool tables and an outside seating area as well. So that is a really nice bar in this area, just to make sure that we had at least 1 or 2 down here. So that is all our community lots. Now, we've got obviously a couple of Sims to see down here and a couple of houses. All of these houses are identical, just with a slight colour variation. So I won't need to go into them all, don't worry. We're just going to have a look mostly at the Sims. But as you'll see, all these houses are identical and it's the same inside. They're very, very plainly decorated, just meant to be livable. Nothing fancy, no tons of decor and stuff. So please don't judge me for being very minimal with the decorating. I wanted to leave it up to you guys to enjoy and have fun with. This is Brandon Shepherd, and a fantastic sim to start with. Hopefully you're familiar with a creator called Landros, who is really great with Sims 3 content. And he's one of my favourites, and I go back to his old content even now because it always gets me excited to play. And he is an iconic sim on Landros' channel. He was in his Midnight Sun challenge and became his ultimate sim in a personal game that he shared frequent updates for. So he is in the world as a tribute to him, and I've used him in a lot of my games. I really love Brandon. I think he's such a fun sim to play with. So he is living right here. And this is an example of what the house looks like. So we've got a really nice kitchen, a very minimal dining area, living area. Upstairs, we've got a couple of bedrooms and a bathroom, and then the top floor will be blank. This is sort of an expansion area for you to use later. But all the houses along this street look exactly the same. They just changed up the colours. So instead of the red accents, they'll have, you know, orange or blue accents and things like that. But again, I didn't want to overfill them with clutter. I wanted to make them just livable for the Sims. and obviously when you visit them, and then you can enjoy renovating them to your heart's content. So moving on down, we have Christopher Steele from Sunset Valley. Now, I didn't really change his clothes and things too much, just a little bit here and there, but I have given him a really nice hair, and this is listed obviously in the custom content, but I did give him a really nice hair. And like I mentioned, any Sims that have got a small amount of custom content, it's all listed on the reference page for you so that they can look exactly as I intended them to look here. If you choose to download it, it's completely optional. But I really love this sim. He's one of my favourites from Sunset Valley, so I thought he would be a great addition to the world. And he lives on the same street here as Brandon. And then we've got one more sim, just a little bit further down, which was Blair Valentino. Now, I created this sim originally to do a legacy challenge. I really love her. But because I wanted to finish this world first and eventually have a legacy or leprosy here, I decided to bring her to the world instead. She is so pretty, and she's one of the very few Sims that has a custom outfit with this dress, which again is linked on that page I mentioned. But in the CC free version, I've gone ahead and changed it to something very, very similar for the EA version. But she is a fantastic Sim. Now, I won't go through traits and things like that. I'll let you discover that in game. I don't want to spoil everything, but I just want to give you an overview of what they look like and where they are in the town. So that is our Embarcadero area already. We're going to jump over to the Marina because I do class that as part of this area before we head up to downtown. So this is our Marina area, and I'll just give it a moment for everything to load as normal. So this Marina area, we've got a few different houseboats. We've got one port that's empty if you want to start off and build your own. We've got one family in here, the Grayson brothers, which we'll take a look at. And then we've got a community lot that I built to be a community style boat. This is actually the last lot I built, and I only finished it, I think, a couple of days ago, because for the longest time it was just the frame of it was built and I couldn't decide how I wanted to fill it out. I knew I wanted it to represent like a docked boat kind of thing, and it's not amazing, I'm not going to lie, but I am really, really proud of how it turned out. This is called the Queen Elizabeth, and it's meant to be a permanently docked boat. So, not an easy thing to do in The Sims 3 when you want a big one and you don't want to have to use custom content to do it. But I think I did a pretty good job with it, and it does look really cool. So, this is your entrance in here. And basically, we've got the Black and Gold Casino. So this is a really nice place to come and do some gambling in a very fancy location. And obviously you can grab some drinks while you're here. So obviously these are store content. This is the roulette table and this is the slot machine. They will populate here. We've then got an arcade and games room. So if you've got children with you, you can let them go wild in there. And then on this side, we've got a little lounge area where people can sit and read. And of course, we've got some public bathrooms. Going up to the next floor on the boat, this is the area where we've got our restaurant and actual deck area. So you can come out on this deck, you can lounge and enjoy the views. We've then got our restaurant. And I really love how this turned out. It feels very cool. So I've got the business as usual oven here, so you can actually hire the chef and you can order from the menu card. It's a sit down area to eat. If you don't have that content, you might want to come in and pop some buffet tables or a register and something so you can actually order food here. But that is what I've included for now. And it's also got the teppanyaki grill as well. So that is our lovely restaurant with some amazing views out of the window. And then on the top floor is meant to be a place as if they were the cabins for the ship. And they are all decorated to be exactly the same. So they've all got a small bedroom, a small bathroom, and then we've got an outside balcony area where your Sims can relax and enjoy the views. So they are all decorated exactly the same. So yeah, that is our Queen Elizabeth community boat. And I actually am really glad I ended up going with that. I did debate for the longest time removing it and putting something else here, but I really love how it turned out. So hopefully you'll have some fun with that. Moving on down, let's take a look at our houseboats. So first of all, All of the ports along this marina pretty much look the same. You'll notice the layout is exactly the same. It's just the accent colours are different for each one. Now, there's only one that's actually a starter houseboat over here, which is the blue one down the bottom from Island Paradise. Some of them are a little bit more expensive. Some of them are very expensive. But I believe this is one that's very modestly priced, and you can probably get it as a starter home unfurnished. But very, very plain and simple. Just a living area, our kitchen, and then downstairs is the sleeping quarters. So we've got space for a second bedroom, we've got a bathroom, and then we've got a bedroom. The ports, this is what they look like. I've just minimised that. They're all very similar like we saw over on the other side of the world. Most of them have got the dumpster and an all-in-one, and then a really nice seating area outside, so that there's always something here if you need to use it. So this yellow one in the middle, this is the one that's empty for you to just add your own boat if you want to, or if you want to pull something in from another world, you can do that here as well. This one will be very familiar. It's the starting boat from Island Paradise. I've changed the decor up just a little bit inside, I believe, but this is pretty much as it comes. So yeah, as you can see, pretty much as you'd expect from the house in game. I think I just changed the decor up a little bit. So I've made the kitchen and bedroom yellow, made it a little bit more bright and sunny, and hopefully you'll enjoy this one. But this one is a starter home, so if you do want to start on a houseboat, you certainly can. So this one, again, very plain and simple. We've got a lovely living area right at the front here. We've got a kitchen area. Upstairs, you've got your outside space, and you've got your control area for the boat. And then underneath, we've got our sleeping quarters again. We've got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So nice and simple, but a little bit bigger and gives you a little bit more room. Next up, we've got the Grayson Brothers. Now, this is the Odyssey boat from Island Paradise. So the only thing I did was change a little bit of the inside when it comes to colouring, but for the most part, it looks exactly as it does in Island Paradise. So I won't worry about going into that one too much detail. But we've got the Grayson Brothers here. So these were created from one sim from Monte Vista, and I just edited them a little bit to be different. So we've got 3 brothers. We've got Sebastian, we've got Harrison, and we've got Samuel. And I believe, if I remember rightly, one is a lifeguard, one is in the military, and one is a firefighter. So really nice sims. They all look very, very similar, but yet different. And their personalities are similar, but still quite different. And they live on the Odyssey right here. I think one of the things I did was add a lower bedroom so that we have plenty of room for all 3 of them. But as you can see, it's pretty much other than that as it would be on Island Paradise. So I haven't really changed anything there. And that is the Grayson Brothers. And then finally, we have one more houseboat over here for you. And this is just a tweaked version of the starter one you get in Island Paradise. It's very, very similar, but I'll show you that. So this one, again, just has a small kitchen and dining area, bathroom and bedroom. And it's in this like lavender sort of tone. I really like this one. It's a really fun one. And I love the colours. So that is the final houseboat. So that's the entirety of our marina. Really, really love this area. It was very tricky to make, because of this part. The walls and stuff are not easy to do in Create a World sometimes. But I really love how it turned out, and it's a fun area, and I'm super excited about the final edition that I managed to pop in last minute as well, because I wanted to make sure that was in there before we moved on. Now, a little bit further up here, just to point out, we've obviously looked at the tide pools and waterfall cave, but this is the criminal hideout. I've brought in the small one from, I believe it was Sunlit Tides, or it might have been Island Paradise. It's one of those. But I didn't want the massive ugly building on the island for the criminal warehouse, so I've gone with the Smuggler's Cove, and I think it fits the island theme a lot better as well. So that is tucked along down here. So now it's time to move into downtown. There are some really fun lots here as well. What we'll do is we'll start in the main centre here, and then we'll take a look at the residential lots afterwards. The main downtown area centres around your town hall and festival grounds. Obviously, with the first day in game at the moment, it's just in the standard park state. It changes to a festival tomorrow, but it is set up for all seasons. So let me pop on testing cheats and I can give you an idea of what it looks like. Let's change it to spring first. So you'll see spring. We've got the lovely hot air balloon. We've got in the central gazebo, we've got a place where you can come and do your spring dancing. We've got the buffet tables, all the standard items you'd expect, like your photo booth and so on, and a lot of fun spring style activities around the festival. If we move to summer, the dance floor becomes a roller skating rink in the gazebo. And again, we've got the balloon and we've got a bunch of activities dotted around. We've got the claw machines and the bull riding. We've got the hot dog stands, of course, and again, another variation of the photo booth and some summer activities as well. Moving into autumn or fall, this still becomes the roller skating rink, but it's changed up quite a bit. And because it's obviously spooky season, we've added things like the broom riding. We've got a variation on the balloon that's changed a little bit. We've got your usual booths. We've got a fortune telling set here if you have that from the store. We've got the chicken coops. We've got pumpkin patch. And we've got the haunted house and things like that. So there's a few magical items from the store like the cauldron and things. So if you have those, they will be here. If not, of course, they won't be, but they're here just for fun for the season. And then finally, let's take a look at winter. So winter, this becomes an ice rink. We've got the ski slope there and a hot tub area. We've got these really cute Christmas decorations, of course, where you can come and get your hot food, drinks. You can take your photos. And I've tried to colour everything for the season so it stays in theme and looks different every time. And yeah, really love how this festival, it took a long time to do, but I really love how it turned out. It actually looks and works amazing. And now I tend to pull this in any world that I play in because it's my favourite festival lot. So let's pop it back to common and we'll leave it as is. But that is our festival ground. Next up, we've got our town hall directly behind it. I can't remember which world this one is from, but it's one of the ones I really love the most. And one thing I did include is the podium right here from university, because it made sense as if they were making public announcements outside, but obviously you can use that to set up protests and things as well. So I thought that was a handy little touch right there. We'll come back to the back part in a moment. We're going to work our way down and around so we can cover the entire area. Over here, we've got our laundromat. Really had fun building this because I rarely use any kind of laundry items in game and I wanted a reason to. So I thought this would be a really fun one. It's meant to be a little bit retro. So we've got our washers and dryers down here. And then while they're working on your clothes, you can come upstairs, you can grab something to eat or drink from the vending or coffee machines, or read a book and maybe learn a skill or two while you're here as well. So that is our laundromat. Next to that, we've got a walk-in diner. So I designed this to be looking like an actual diner, but one that you can actually visit. You can come here, you can order food when the sales clerk is here. That is our diner. Moving on down, we've got our grocery store, bookstore, and then I've added on a little building to the end of it as well, which is just a little cafe. So this is a little cafe you can come to and grab a bite to eat. Very, very simple, just one story. Love this grocery store. It's one of my favourite ones. And obviously it's got the bookstore there as well. Moving on down, we've now got one of my favourite lots that I've ever built, and this is our library. Now, if you did see the original overview, you'll know that I had the Weatherstone back here, right next to the Vault of Antiquity. I've now moved that over to the Magic School, because I thought it made a lot more sense to be over there in the supernatural area rather than over here. But it also still made sense to keep the Vault of Antiquity with the library, so I've done that. Let me pop up the walls and we'll turn all the lights on. Now, this library, I really love how this turned out. So you've got like these little nooks inside here where you can go in and read. Really, really love this. You've got this big open staircase that you come up to the upper floor, and the upper floor looks down on the floor below as well. And then behind this bookcase is a secret room where you can sort of catch a glimpse, but you can't without unlocking it. But behind that, you can discover a little room where you can learn alchemy and spells and things. So I'll let you check that out in game, and I won't open that up just now. But that is our library, and it's called the Jane Austen Library, I believe. Yeah. It's been a while since I named some of these buildings, so I might forget some of them. On the other side, this is our community centre. Now, I knew I wanted to include a lot in the world that you can come and learn skills without having to buy everything. And also, it just gives you a reason to get out the house, because I tend to stick in the house quite a bit. So I thought this would be a fun one to include. We've got the podium over here again, so you can set up protests and things. But basically, this has got different skill rooms. So we've got chemistry sets here. We've got computers. We've even got the science machine. We've got artistic skill machines like the music, the sculpting, the painting. And we've got a buffet area where you can come and get something to eat as well. So I really like this lot. It's such a fun one to use, especially early game if you need to. Upstairs is just for decor, there's nothing up there, but that is our community centre. On the other side of the festival lot, we've got the Wisteria Mall. And I set this up to have a few little fun shops using the Savvy Seller collection from the store. So let me bring this one down. Now, the first store, let me pop the walls down for this one. The first store is a traveller's store. And as you can see, it's these rugs that are the part of the seller's item. So you can click on anything on the rugs and you can buy them. So you can come here and buy your tent before you go travelling. You can buy your camera, things like that, sleeping bag. I thought it would be really fun to do something like this. Now, we've got a pet store here as well. I don't have the actual pet store, so you can't actually buy pets from here. But you can buy some of the items like toys and beds for them, of course. You can't with these. These are decoration. It doesn't let you buy them with the Savvy Sellers, so they are just decor. But you can buy the houses and you can buy the food bowls and the pet toys. Just a nice reason to come and go shopping rather than doing it all in buy mode. Next up, we've got a little room here where you can buy some artistic materials like the base. We've got the street art kit. We've got some instruments. You can come and buy those here. In the middle, we've got a little cafe where you can grab something to eat. We've then got a little toy shop where you can come and purchase some toys right next to sort of the nursery area where you can come and purchase some items here. There's a couple of items that are from the store like this baby swing set. Believe that's the only one in here that's from the store. Yeah. Again, I don't use loads of store stuff, just the odd bit here and there. And then finally, we've got a little electronics shop. So you can come in here and buy games consoles. You can buy a multi-tab computer and so on. But the fun thing about doing it like this is that you often get a sale here. So you can come and get things a lot cheaper than what they would be in buy mode. Next to that, we have the Mystic Grill. And this is a bar that's inspired by the Vampire Diaries. Obviously, it's not meant to look exactly like it or anything like that. It's just inspired by it. So this is our Mystic Grill. You'll come in. You've got a really nice place to sit and relax and have a drink. You can play darts. You can dance. You've got your drinks here, photo booth and some bathrooms. So very, very standard, but a really fun bar to come to. I use this one a lot. And this is, again, another one that I tend to pop into any world I'm playing in. Which, now that I've got this world actually finished, I'll probably be in this world most of the time. So that is this entire central section that we've just seen. So we've got two other lots off to the side and then we're going to pop to the back section. So first up, we've got a motel. This is the only resort, technically, that I've built because I didn't want to build on the one that's set up for you over on the Blue Lagoon. But I also wanted a cheap place that you can come and stay in downtown as well. So we've got a fun little resort here. If we go down. So you've got your standard little eating area, your registration desk, and we've got some VIP bedrooms upstairs as well. We've also got a community area with a little bar and a little learning. So nothing too fancy, but you've also got the rabbit holes next to it as well. So you can come here and stay here if you wanted to. And then the other side of town is where we've got the car dealership that I talked about in the intro. And this is such a fun lot. I pull it into all of my games as well because it's so nice to come out and buy a car rather than just pull it out from buy mode. And that's why I made the shops as well. But this is our dealership and this is why I've downloaded some fun cars because it's nice to have a variation. So, and the creator is Fresh Prince Creations and the cars just look amazing. I absolutely love them and I've used them for years. But you can see we've got, obviously, if there's a sale going on, You'll get these a lot cheaper as well, but it's so nice to come over and just buy them. We've got some fancy cars inside, obviously being the more expensive ones like the Bugattis and the McLarens. We've got Bella's truck in here as well, so you can come and buy that yourself. And then out the back, we've got our little cheaper starter cars. So we've got a Volkswagen Beetle. This was one of my very first cars in real life, so I had to have that in here. We've got a Fiat 500, which is the car I've actually got now. We've got a Mini Cooper, and then we've got the vintage Volkswagen Beetle, which reminds me of Emma Swan's car in Once Upon a Time. Again, more characters that I wish I had time to make and add to. But I will probably do that in future updates and add more families to download if you want to. But for now, let's close up our dealership. And again, if you don't want to play with the custom content, the EA cars will be in the CC free version. And I've put a load of different colours and models in there from the game. So that will be set up either way. With that is our main downtown. Now, before we check out this back section up here, I think we'll head on over to the residential areas. So let's start on the left over here. Now, both of our residential areas centre around a main little park. This area is blank. It's a 64 by 64 and intended to be used as a legacy. You've got some amazing views there if you want to use this lot. Or you can pop one of your own favourite lots or houses here, of course. And these I kind of set up to be like Victorian style houses. Again, they're very plain and simple. They're nothing fancy. But this is Jason Clary, inspired by the Shadowhunters. Clary is a witch, because obviously I can't make her an actual Shadowhunter, but she is a witch. And she is with Jace. Now, all these homes along this street look exactly the same. Again, just slight variations, like the backyards might be a little bit different on the other side. But the interiors are very plain and simple and just meant to be livable for now. So we've got a dining area, a kitchen, we've got a little utility room, downstairs bathroom. Upstairs we've got a couple of plain bedrooms set up, and then up the top is blank at the moment. But they are all very similar. Again, you'll hopefully have fun coming in and renovating them yourself, but that is what their houses look like. Next to that, this is our central park for the area, and I believe this is called Golden Tree Park. Yeah, Golden Tree Park. So this is a nice place to come with the family. We've got obviously all the kids' activities. We've got some all-in-one bathrooms, the playhouse, the carousel, and lots of fun little toys and sports activities for you as well. So that is our Golden Tree Park, and it should be set up for all of the children's ages as well. On the other side of the park, we've got some more of those same houses. These are all empty, so you can come in and decorate them or move them if you'd like. But very simple backyards, a little bit more decorated over here. And they are slightly bigger than the ones on the other side, but still match them very well. And then we have our townhouse. So on this side here, if I spin it around, I made this to look like townhouses. Now, The Sims 3 does not like you to make workable townhouses. Apartments are easy enough to do, but townhouses not so much. So obviously you can only live in the one on the end here. The rest are just decorational, but there is a community area as well. So let me open this up. So this is what the lower floor would look like. You've got your little tiny living area, and you've got a backyard and a kitchen. Upstairs is your bedroom and bathroom, but you can rent this property, so it's very, very cheap. And then obviously these would be technically NPC homes, but obviously they're not, they're just decorational. But this would be like your community area, your public area. So we've got a small little office here, we've got a laundry and utility room here, we've got the elevators, and then upstairs you've got a little bar area as well. And you've also got a community sort of garden out the back where you can have bonfire party and thing, because yours is quite small. But that is our townhouses. I really love how these turned out, and they are really fun to use. But this is the one that you would move into right on the end here. Directly behind this area, we've got the school. I thought it made sense to keep the school close to the residential area. And I believe this is the school from Aurora Skies, but I could be mistaken there. But I just added a play area outside, so some of the kids always tend to sit on the floor outside school, don't always go home, so at least there's some fun activities for them to do here with the park. But that is our school. Moving on over to the other side. So this time we've got the Generations Park. I've just edited it a little bit, put some more activities in it as well. Got the basketball hoops from the store here. We've got a load of playground equipment and just some fun toys and games to play dotted around the outside as well, like the soccer goal and the nub set. So hopefully a lot of fun activities for the family. This is the area where we've got Elena, Gilbert, the Swan family and the Halliwells. So let's start over here with Elena and Bonnie. So this is Elena's house. Again, just meant to be inspired by it. It's not an exact replica or anything, but we've got the iconic bench outside. And this is our lovely Bonnie. Again, she does have a custom hair on her, but I really love her. She's, of course, a witch. And then if we go down into the house, we should see Elena. And Elena, oh, so pretty. I absolutely love this sim. And I didn't make her a vampire because we've got Catherine. So she is the human, Elena. And really, really love her. And again, her house, a little bit more decorated than some of the others. But this is just meant to represent her actual home. We just turn on all lights. So we've got the living area, the kitchen and second living area. I did give them a nice pool out back. So they've got a lovely area to swim. And then we've got a couple of bedrooms up here as well. And that is Elena and Bonnie. Again, I wish I could have added someone like Caroline as well and the originals. I really would love to have the originals. But I thought I've already got quite a few vampires with the Cullens and Catherine and Salvatore's. So that's why I kind of left it at there. But I may add them in the future as an optional download. Next to their house, we've got a version that you can actually buy as a starter home. So it's not as decorated. It's very plain because of the size. I didn't want it to go over the cost, but I'll just show you what it looks like. So you would start out with just the ground floor, just 2 plain bedrooms, a little kitchen and a bathroom, and then later you'll be able to expand up the top to be bigger like that one if you wanted to. But that is that house. And then finally, we have pretty much a replica of Elena, Gilbert and Bonnie's house. So this one is a bit more expensive, but this is going to be a lot more decorated. Let me just open this one up. So now you can see it's pretty much decorated just like theirs, but the colouring's a little bit different. We've got the pool out the back, and upstairs we've got the bedrooms and bathrooms. And this one, yeah, is quite a bit more expensive because it's fully decorated. But if you really like this house, this would be a fun one to come and play in. Directly over from there, we've got the Central Park Apartments. And just like it might kind of nod to, it's meant to represent the interior of the Friends apartment in the style. And of course, oh, let me open this up. So the ground floor will be NPC apartments. Upstairs is your actual apartment, which is right here. So we've just got 2 bedrooms. We've got a little dining area up by the balcony. We've got the kitchen and the bathroom. So it's just meant to represent sort of what the interior looked like a little bit, but it's not decorated to be a replica of it or anything. But I really love the layout of this. It's lovely and spacious, and you can obviously make extra bedrooms if you wanted to. And then upstairs, we've actually got our communal public areas like a gym, a little skill area, and we've also got a little mini laundromat here as well. And you can also come out via the back. So you can see that all the apartments have their own little mini balcony as well. But that is our Central Park Apartments. Moving on to the other side, this is where the Swans live, and we've got a version of their house that you can buy as a starter home. So this is the starter home. Let me open this up first. Very, very small and basic because it's really hard to keep it under the limit. But this is easily purchasable for $17,000. We've got a little living area and kitchen as usual, bedroom and bathroom upstairs, and that is the starter home. Next to that is the Swan home. And I really love this little house. It's so cute. In this house, we have Charlie, Swan and Renee, and of course Bella. So that's our Charlie. He's at level 4 in the police career. I didn't want to give him the max career, but he's the patrol officer at the moment. Of course, you can lower that down if you want to play him. We've also got Renee, and it's very hard to see her because she's faffing around. But let's have a look. So that's Renee. And then, of course, we've got Bella, who's one of my all-time favourite Sims that I've ever created. She's created as a teenager, but I've used her so many times. I love this Sim. And of course, we've got their house decorated to be as similar to the interior as possible when it comes to the layout. I tend to focus more on the layout than the decor. But we've got their downstairs area here, and then upstairs we've got Bella's bedroom, Renee and Charlie's bedroom, and I gave Bella her own bathroom. So she doesn't have to share in this house. But that is our Swan family. And Bella does have her red pickup truck, but I believe it's in her inventory. So we'll just check out the hospital. So this is very standard rabbit hole. All I did was add a little bit of decoration outside, nothing too fancy. But that is where the hospital is. So this is the final house to see, and this is one of my favourite houses of all time. I absolutely love this house and I love this family. Now, this is one of the very few Sims. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 in this world that I didn't create myself. I downloaded the Charm Sisters because I really loved the ones that I found. So Paige, Piper and Phoebe are downloads, but I made Leo and Cole and Wyatt, I believe. I think so. Yeah, I think so. And again, the links for this family to download them if you want to are in the reference pages, of course, because they will come with their hairs and things for the CC version of the save file. But we've got the lovely Paige right out here, looking very cute. Of course, we've got little Wyatt, who is a witch as well. We've got Piper. We've got Phoebe. She is so good. The creator made such a good job with her. Leo I made myself, and Cole I made as well. And they've all got their cars. That's Leo's pickup truck out here. Paige has got her green Beetle. I think Phoebe's got a Mini Cooper and Piper's got her SUV style car or Cherokee Jeep. I can't remember which one I gave her. But I absolutely love this house. This is a house that I tend to make in most games I play in. I always end up creating this layout because it's just so fun to play in. So we've got their couple of lounge areas and parlour. We've got the sunroom, dining room. We've got the kitchen and utility and the little breakfast nook. Downstairs, they have got a basement started, but nothing's done with it. It's empty for now. Upstairs, we've got a few bedrooms. We've got a nursery for Wyatt, and we've got a couple of bathrooms as well. And then finally, we've of course got their attic where they can do their spells and their potions. They can cut gems, and they can even use the soothsayer ball. So yeah, that is the Halliwell Manor. I haven't decorated their garden. That's still open to be built, but the rest of it is really, really lovely. So moving on to the back part of town. Now, we've got our business centre right here. So you can join the business or journalism career. And then you may remember from the first overview, if you saw it, that this was just a shell. I hadn't actually finished building it yet. So this was another one that I finished quite recently. But this is meant to be like a VIP exclusive lounge. So you would come in here. Now, this is an exclusive lounge, so there will be a bouncer that you'll have to bribe or get your celebrity level up. But this is the lounge area right here. And then you'll go all the way up to the 7th floor where you've got your bar, your dancing area, and then one further top floor, which is all open air outside for performing, and another bar. And it looks really cool at night time because it's all sort of lit up purple, but I'll let you see that in game. I have included one of each bar type, so if you're learning mixology or you're doing performing careers, hopefully the majority of them are covered for you. I don't think every single one has a performing section, so you may need to add those in if you want to. This section up the back here, we've got sort of this beautiful fountain area down the middle, and this is meant to be like a strip kind of vibe. So you've got lots of different bars that line here, and then we've got a Bowl-O-Rama at the back, and we've got the Plum Bob Pictures backlot here. So this is sort of our main bar area in town. Now this first bar, this was from Twinbrook. It's the Red Rendezvous. I've just edited it quite a bit, so let me open this up and give you a look inside. So downstairs, we've got the slot machines again and darts. We've got a professional bar and karaoke. Upstairs, you've got another bar area, dancing area, and some fun activities. And we've got the same up the top. So this is a really nice place to come with the whole family. Lots to do. Really fun lot. Really love this one. So a lot of the bars I have built myself, but there are some that I've pulled in from other worlds just to give us a nice variation. This one is Lars from Hidden Springs. But I've just changed the decor a little bit. I'm not a massive fan of this one. it's meant to be sort of like a retro sort of disco vibe, but I'm really not that keen on it. But I do love how it turned out. And it's got these multicoloured lights and it looks really fun and wacky. So I do really like it, just not as much as some of the other ones that I've done. But this is the disco bar. So moving on down, now we've got the Bowlerama. And this is one of my favourite lots that I've ever built. I really, really love this lot and it's so fun. So let me open this up. So on our main floor here, when you come in, this is where you can come and play bowling, and you've got obviously the photo booth, and you've even got a professional bar here as well. Absolutely love this. It's really, really fun. Downstairs, we've got this really cool skating rink and all these light up, and it's really fun because it gives like that vibe of when you used to go to like roller skating parties or you see it. So I really love this. We've also got some arcade and slot machines down here as well, and you can sit around the outside. But this is really fun, this lot. I use this a lot, no matter what game I'm playing. Next up, we've got a bar that was inspired by Charmed, and it's the P3. And again, this is one of my favourite bars that I've actually made. So it's meant to be like a rundown warehouse. It's not meant to look fancy, but the inside is great. So let me show you that. So this is done so that you walk in from up here and you can look down into the bar. We've got our bathrooms up here, but then downstairs is the actual bar area. And this, you can come and perform here. We've got our little booths where we might see the sisters sit in, and then the bar that's centered where they can walk around. But I really love this slot. It's super fun. I've used it a bunch of times again in multiple worlds, and it just looks really, really nice. So hopefully you'll enjoy this one. Next to that is the new location for drinks at Diamond Bucks, and then we've got the warehouse there as well. But I've changed this a little bit, not too much, but I'll just open it up so I can show you because I have made some edits to it. Mostly I've added the karaoke machine. I think I changed the colours up a little bit, and I've added the bubble bars and opened this up a little bit more. But that's pretty much all I did. Again, nice fun bar to come to. Directly behind it, we've got the Plum Bob Pictures backlot. I did decorate the outside of it, but other than that, it's a rabbit hole, so it's pretty much standard as you'd see in your game. Then we've got the Porta Party warehouse. Again, I think I've tweaked it a little bit inside. I can't remember, to be honest, but let's have a look. I did, yeah. I can see that I've put a few things in here and I think I've redecorated it a little bit. But on the upper floor, we've got another bar here and we've got things like the pool tables and skee ball machines. Downstairs is pretty much how it comes, I believe. I think I might have just changed the colouring up a little bit. I don't remember what the original looks like because I very rarely ever use it. I think maybe twice in all the years I've played. But this is a really fun lot, and this is one of your performance venues as well, of course. So let's close that one back up. And then we have another bar that I pulled in from Roaring Heights, but I've changed it quite a bit. And this is called the Dusty Rose. You've got a really nice place that you can come and eat. We use the menus at this one again, so if you don't have that, you may need to add a register. But this has got the bistro oven right here, so you can come and have a sit-down meal. And then upstairs, you've got a really nice area where you can come and dance and have a drink. And we've got some more activities up the top here as well, especially if you're coming out with kids, so they will be able to have fun here. And that is the Dusty Rose. And there's one more lot to see in this area, and that is the Regency Casino. Now, this is basically a copy of the Regency Arcade, but just made to be more of a casino vibe. So I'll show you this one. So downstairs, when you come in, you've got your slot machines. We've got a nice bubble bar. And then we've got like a musical area over here where you can perform. Upstairs, we've got the roulette table. And then a little bit further up, we've got some more slot machines, a nice little lounge area with a TV. And then we've got the pool, bar and hot tub area outside. And there's also a little area where you can drop off the kids while you go gamble the night away. But that is the Regency Casino. And with that, that is everything in the downtown area. So now that's all done, let's take a look at the few lots and homes that are up in the mountains. And we'll start right here at the top. This is the Twilight Meadow. Let me just zoom on down. And this is just meant to be a little fun wildflower spawner and also full of these pretty flowers. So If you want to bring Bella and Edward up here and create that iconic moment in game, you certainly can. But you've also got some amazing views over the island over here. It overlooks the supernatural bay on this side, and on the other side, we overlook the entire rest of the town. So this could make a really fun lot to build on as well if you want to, because of those amazing views over the entire world. But that is the Twilight Meadow, and there are some spawners that will show up here as well, so it's certainly worth coming up here now and again to check out. So let's start over on this left side. This one we've just got 4 little houses. These are all empty. They're houses that you can move into if you want to. This first one here is just a little starter home if you want to live up in the mountains. We've got a bedroom, bathroom, a small kitchen and living room, but we have some really nice views as well over the town. And it's quite a nice sized lot, so you can expand and obviously have a nice garden and that as well. Next to that, this lot I pulled in from the bin. It's a standard EA home. I didn't change anything with this home, so it will look exactly as EA designed it, I believe. Let's have a look. Yeah, so this is exactly how EA pretty much designed it, I believe. I don't think I did anything with this, but this is more of a family starter. On the other side, we have one of the bungalows that I pulled in, I believe, from Sunset Valley. This again is a really nice home up in the mountains. We have a lovely view. You can see a bit of the countryside over there. And this could make an early game house as well. Next to that, this one is the Rosehaven house, I believe, which is also from the bin. I've built a lot of the houses myself, but there are a few as well that I've pulled in from other worlds and decorated or have tweaked them a little bit, and some that I haven't, but just to fill it out with some more variation, because I'm not the best at building residential lots. I do think I do better with community for some reason, but this is a nice one that I just kind of tweaked a little bit, and I thought it made a nice house here up in the mountains. The inside is pretty much the same as it comes. I think I just changed the outside so it blended in a bit better. But that is that house right there. Moving on up the hill, we've got the community greenhouse. And this was based on the Stone's Throw greenhouse from the store. So you've got the market stands put out here, but everything else is pretty much decorated how it would be at that lot. I didn't change anything. I just added the market stands. Moving on up, we've got a much bigger house over here. Again, I believe this is one from the bin that I just edited to make it fit in with the scenery a little bit better. I didn't change anything on the inside, I don't believe. It was a while ago that I added some of these lots, so I'm not entirely sure. I might have tweaked it a little bit, it looks like, possibly. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It looks like I might have adjusted the colours a little bit, because EA tends to be very wild with the decor. So I may have done, but don't quote me on it, because as I said, it's been a while since I've added some of these lots. Some of them have been in the world for a couple of years. So I'm not sure on that, but that is a really nice home up in the mountains. Moving further along, you'll probably recognise this lot from Hidden Springs. It was, I can't remember what it's called, something Peaks, Redwood Peaks maybe, or something like that. But I edited this lot to have some fun things to do for the whole family. Plus, you've got another wedding venue here if you want to get married up in the mountains and you want to have this really cool view over the whole town. So we've got the beach pier, we've got Serenity Spa, we've got this one here. We've also got a chapel and Plum Puddle Parks. I think we've got 5 wedding venues that we're going to see in total. But again, just some fun activities to come and spend the day with the family. And if we move further along, we've got Mixed Karaoke Bar that I've edited up quite a bit. Thought this was a nice spot for it, and I do like this bar as well. So I didn't do too much with it. I think I just added the slot machines. I added the bull ride out the back there. And upstairs, I just tweaked it a little bit to include a few more things. But other than that, it's pretty much how you would have it in your game. Moving a little bit further along, we've got our Showtime Park. Nothing really new to see here. It's exactly as it is in the game. I just wanted to plop it down here. And then we reach the other side of the mountain. Oh, we can see that beautiful river behind. Like, what a view. But we've got a few things here. Now, this is the cabin from Moonlight Falls. I've edited it up a little bit because I like to make this... Oh, I don't know why that's here. That's the only llama in town. I was originally going to add llamas throughout the town, but I didn't, so that's still there from Moonlight Falls. So I just changed it up a little bit inside. These are from the store, I believe, or I think they're from the Bohemian pack. Yeah, the Bohemian set on the store, I think, that comes with the extra crop. So that's from there. But yeah, it's a nice place. It's kind of like a little retreat that you can come to for the night or for the weekend if you want to get away from the house and be up in the mountains. I really like this lot. It's always a nice place to go on like a date night or something. So I thought I definitely wanted to put it here. Next to that, we've got a pub from Monte Vista. So you'll see a theme of me pulling in some of the lots from other worlds that I really love, but just editing them and making them my own so I can enjoy them in this world too. It's called the Redwood Country Pub here. And it's I didn't really change anything much here. I changed the colour of the tables and chairs. I think I added the karaoke machine and I added a few things up here. There's the tea sets on the table if you have the brunch at Old Mill. So that's here. And then obviously we've got the claw machine and pool table. But that's pretty much it here. But it's still one of my favourite little pubs to come to. On the other side, we have our next wedding venue, which is the Plum Puddle Park from the base game that you have in your lot, but I've edited it up and I'll just let the textures load. Again, you've got these amazing views over the town, so I thought it made a really nice spot for a wedding. As you can see, oh, you can see the Charmed House from here. So that's got your wedding venue. It's got a place for your guests to dance. You've got a place to put your cake and you've got some food and some bathrooms over in that corner. So that is the Plum Puddle Wedding Park. And then finally next to that, we have the pizzeria from Monte Vista. I've gone in and added a few little things here, but not too much. So let me open this up and we'll take a look. So mostly I think I changed the tables and the chairs a little bit. I added the food register, I think. I don't think that come with it. And I did a professional bar. Upstairs, we've got a few more things going on. So you can come and take photos. You can get the claw machine and the pool table and so on. And there's a really nice seating area outside with the bubble machine. But other than that, again, pretty much how you would expect it. I've just tweaked it a little bit because I really like this lot. And that is called the Peaks Pizzeria here. Heading back up into map view, you can see we've already hit the other side of the mountain. We've come all the way round from here, all the way over to here. Now, moving on round, we're going to come back to these two homes in a moment, but heading on over this side, we've got a couple more lots to see. This is a dojo that I built where you can come and learn the martial arts skill. So I do have some lots in town where you can learn nectar making and where you can learn martial arts. So this is the martial arts one. It's very small, but I really love how it turned out. So you've got showers here, you've got a reading area and a computer, and then of course you've got all your martial arts equipment. And you can train outside or inside. And I believe you can actually catch some of the fish from China here as well, if I remember rightly. I believe I added them in here. And then we've got two final homes to see over here. This is the Addams family that I showed you in the intro. Give them a second to load. Let's open up their house. I didn't try to rebuild their house or anything. I honestly just wasn't feeling like doing that at the time. So I just used one from the bin and then I renovated it to look what I thought would suit them. So it's quite dark and very neutral toned in this house, but I do really like how it turned out and I think it suits them perfectly. So this is the Addams family house. And we've got Gomez over here. We've then got Morticia. And we've got Wednesday as a teenager. Really love this family. And at some point I'm going to take them to Midnight Hollow because I've never played in that world. And I think they would be perfect for it. But they are here and I really love this family. And then finally, we've got the only celebrities in town that I created. I know Darren Dream was a 2-star, but other than that, I've created one celebrity family, which is, of course, Miss Taylor Swift and Mr. Travis Kelce, which is looking very strange at the moment while he's doing his little stretch. But this is Travis Kelce. I think he turned out really cool. Only made him a couple of days ago. And we've got our lovely Taylor Swift that you might have seen from the trailer when she's in her formal wear, which reminded me of an outfit from the Eras Tour. And of course, we've got Meredith. She lives in this house that I pulled in from Twinbrook. I just edited the inside a little bit. I'll show you that. I didn't do much. All I did was added a nice outdoor pool area for her and a hot tub. And then I changed the decor to be a little bit more neutral. Not too much. I think I gave her the piano and things like that and some cat stuff because of that. But very plain and simple, lovely big house. Always loved this house, so it was a good one to use in this world. And that is Taylor and Travis. So with that, we've seen the entire mountain area. We do have a few more lots to see around here, actually. So let's start with... Actually, let me start down here because I missed these lots. So first of all, plain and simple, we've got our science centre right here. And when it loads up fully, there's a really... I can't even remember how I built this. I've tried to do it again since, and I can't remember the trick to it because it's quite tricky to do. But years ago, I built this one, and it's got some really nice boats out the back, and I thought it made a really nice lot overlooking the Blue Lagoon, being that it's the marine science facility. Thought it looked great here. But then opposite, we've got the Grady's Junk Shop, which is what you have in your game bin. I haven't changed anything with that at all. But this is one of the lots that took me ages to build and finish up because I couldn't decide how I wanted to do it. And the idea behind it is that it's like a secret science kind of research facility, like an Area 51 kind of situation. So what you'll see here, if I go down, you come in and you've got some spawners here for the junkyard, just like you've got next door, but you've also got the science machines and the potion and inventing. It's meant to be like they're doing some questionable experiments here. Downstairs it gets even more questionable. We've got some futuristic experimental stuff going on with bots. We've got some smelting and some potion making going on, and this leads you up to this dome. And outside in this dome, we've got the cow plant, if you have it. We've got the Tree of Prosperity, which can sometimes give you issues in game for some reason. So you may want to delete that, but I haven't had any trouble with it for a long time. And we've got all the crystal plants out here as well. So again, it's all meant to be very questionable. Over here, we've got another port right by the river if you would like to stay in this beautiful location with your houseboat. I thought this made a really nice spot to dock a boat. And I want to make a quick mention of something why we're in this area. So if you did see the original overview a couple of years ago, there used to be a bridge here and a bridge that connected this area. Now, editing game, as I mentioned, has been very problematic. And when I changed to a new computer and reinstalled everything, for some reason, all of a sudden, any store world items that I'd used in the world, like the bridge from Monte Vista and Roaring Heights, they disappeared, and I searched high and low for a fix for it. It seems to be quite a common issue of certain objects not coming up in court, and I didn't want to mess with coding it. So what I did in the end, after months of frustration and trying to find a workaround to fix it, I decided to just get rid of the bridges altogether and pop in a land bridge instead. So this is actually better because bridges in Create a World can cause some routing issues. So this should make things a lot easier in the game itself, and it still looks lovely. I do wish I could have kept the bridges in, but until I find a workaround, this is how it is now, and I still really love it. So we've now got land bridges where the normal bridges used to be, but that will make routing a lot easier as well. Moving on up, this is one lot that I didn't build myself. This is Fantasia. I did name it, but it's actually a vampire bar that was made by another creator on the exchange, I believe. However, I downloaded this years ago and I can't actually find the original link for it. I've checked everywhere and searched it, but because it didn't have a name, I named it. It was just blank in the name. I don't know what to search for. So if anyone has this lot or has ever used it and knows the creator of it, please let me know so that I can make sure to link them and credit them for it. But for now, I've had to leave it out because I don't know. I can't find the original link. This is a really fun vampire bar that's deceptively hidden under this sort of graveyard here. And as you can see, it looks really, really cool. They did an amazing job with it. And it's one of my favourite bars to play with when I have supernaturals. So I wanted to include it in this world. Really, really love it. I don't think I really changed anything with this. It's pretty much as it comes. I may have added a couple of little things here and there, but for the most part, this is how it was since I've had it, and I've had it for a very, very long time. Moving opposite that, we have our actual graveyard for San Isla, and I only built this maybe a month or so ago. For the longest time, I didn't have a graveyard because I was really uninspired and I didn't know how I wanted to go about it. But I'm actually really, really happy with how it turned out. So you've got this nice little central area that you can sit and relax in between going through. But what we've got is we've got these little plots around the outside with the tombstones on. They're just remains, they're decorative, they're not ones that are actual people at the moment. Let me just bring the walls down. And then inside these little rooms, again, it's meant to be like their family kind of tomb areas. We've got some more graveyards along the outside here. Obviously, you've got your death fish spawners here as well. And you've got your mausoleum. And then over here, I've got the Door of Life and Death from the store. So if you have that, you can come and contact the Grim Reaper here. You can do the genetic merger, things like that. And it's just got this fun little decorative area behind it with Grim's statue. So I really loved how that turned out. And again, we've got 2 more of the rooms at the back here that are just for decorative purposes. But I'm really happy with this. It's the first time I've ever really built a graveyard, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks really, really nice, and it fits the world perfectly. So hopefully you'll enjoy this too. This is not really a lot, but I'll just show you it. There is some spawners that come here. You can get the Will-o'-the-Wisp here, and I'm letting you know that because we all know what a pain they can be to get. But I've got a bunch of Will-o'-Wisp spawners here. So if you ever struggle to find those and you don't have the tracker for them yet in your inventory, you can come here at night and you'll probably get them here. Now let's move over to this side. Moving on over here, fans of the Vampire Diaries will instantly recognise this. And I wish I could take credit for this incredible lot, but I downloaded this quite a long time ago on the web and I love this lot. So I've linked the creator of it in the CC reference page, even though it's not CC, it's technically custom because it is a custom lot. But they did an amazing job with it. So the only thing I added, I believe, was the cars. There's a car here for Stefan to work on. That's Stefan's Audi. We've got a Chevrolet Camaro for Damon, and Catherine's got one of the fancy Porsches in her inventory, I believe, as well. But this is the one other sim that I didn't create as well. So we've got the Halliwell sisters that are downloaded, and I also downloaded this Damon because he is amazing. Just look at this Damon. Oh, love it. I'm a huge Damon fan. So link for that is on the CC reference page as well. So you can download him if you are using the version with the custom content on The Sims. Otherwise, I've gone in and made a similar version in the CC free version of the save file. But we've also got Stefan over here as well. And we've got Catherine, which is an exact doppelganger of Elena, but she's a vampire and her hair is a little bit curlier. So they didn't have a hair that suited her very well, so I've gone with that one, which is the same one that Clary has. I don't use too many hairs in game, so there are some similar ones. But this lot, I need to show it off because the creator did an incredible job with it. Let me open this up. So the only thing I added was in the basement, I've added some nectar machines because I've got Damon as a nectar maker because he loves his bourbon. I thought it would suit him quite well rather than a standard career. And he's got every single kind of grape down here as well. Everything else is exactly as the creator made it because it's just perfection. I didn't want to change anything. So this is really, really well decorated. And we've got quite a lot of rooms down here. And upstairs, we've got all the bedrooms of the boarding house. So we've got Damon's bedroom over here. And I believe the one over here would be Stefan's. This is such a fun house, so huge thank you to the original creator for making this because I've had many a fun game with it already. I've never actually played as these characters, but I visit the house often in my games and it's just such a fun house. I've had my sim a few times get involved with Damon because he's a fun character. So that is the Salvatores. Directly opposite the Salvatores, we've got the Cullen household, and I made these sims quite a long time ago when I was playing in Moonlight Falls. I think I started with Edward because I was playing with Bella, and then eventually I made the rest of the family, and I think I did a pretty good job with them. I am really proud of how they turned out. I recognised them easily in the town. But let me just come down. So we've got our Edward here. We've got Rosalie over here. Love Rosalie. She's so pretty. We've got Carlisle and Esme here. And then if I get rid of these walls, we can see we've got Emmett, we've got Jasper, and we've got Alice. And I've put their relationships in place. So obviously Alice and Jasper are together, Esme and Carlisle, and Rosalie and Emmett. Edward's single, but he's best friends with Bella. So if you do want to pursue romantic with them, you can. But if you want to use a different sim, it's not going to give you any messy reputation and stuff. They've all got fancy cars in their inventory as well. So if you do download those custom cars, you'll see Edward's got the Aston Martin Vanquish. She's got a really lovely Porsche. There's some really, and I think Emmett's got the Hummer or some kind of Jeep Wrangler style car. Yeah, the Jeep Wrangler I think he's got. But yeah, this is the Cullens and their house. Really, really love this family and I use them quite a bit. So now we've seen all around the mountain. There's a massive blank lot down here, which I plan to use myself as like a legacy graveyard just for my own family. When I do a legacy or leprosy playthrough at some point or in a personal game. And there's another big lot up here that you can use as well. So if you want to pull in lots from other worlds, you certainly can. There are a few blank lots. There's not many, but there are a few that are dotted around. Originally, I was going to put Grandpa's Grove here, but I haven't. So yeah, most of the lots are filled, but there are some empty ones. And obviously you can take out whatever you don't want. But now that we've seen all of that, let's move over to the countryside. We've only got a couple of areas left to see, but I wanted to give you a very in-depth look at everything before you download the world so you can see everything that you're going to get. Starting over at the country, let's have a look over here. So this is our equestrian centre. I haven't really done anything with this. I just added a little bit of decoration on the outside and I added the racetrack off to the side. Obviously that's a rabbit hole. But the one that I did build that I'm very, very proud of is this riding school. So this is your horse ranch where you can come and do training. And I built this to be like an actual horse ranch that you might come to, like a riding school. So you can learn jumping here and then you can practice show jumping out the back there. Let me just bring the walls up. There's a place for people to sit and watch as you do the track when you get better and better. Obviously, we've got some stables here. And then there's some decorational items that suit the theme and a place to grab something to eat over in the kitchen here. So yeah, really, really love this lot. Super proud of how it turned out. And I built this quite a long time ago, but absolutely love it. Really, really fun. Moving on over, this is a little tea house lot. I didn't actually build this, but I can't remember where it come from. It might be Appaloosa Plains. It's a long time ago that I had it, so I don't remember where this is from, to be honest with you. But hopefully someone will recognise it. But this is just a little cafe. I've added the tea sets and I changed the colours of the tables a little bit. Other than that, it's all as it would normally be. But I really like this lot. It's very cute, so I wanted to include it. Over here, we have one other lot that I didn't build, and I absolutely love this house. So I've linked it in the reference page in the folder, but this is called Aspen Grove. It's Aspen Grove number 4, I believe. I think all I did is I changed the colour in to match kind of the theme that I've got going on in this farm area, so it's more of a red. I think originally it's either white or green or something like that, which was beautiful anyway. But this is pretty much how the creator made it, I believe. I don't think I changed anything with it. No, I didn't change anything. So this is how they designed it, and this house is absolutely gorgeous, and I thought it would fit perfectly in here. So this is one of the homes that we've got in the country area that's open. And moving on over here, we've got our community farm area. Now there's a couple of store items that you can see. So we've got the Milk in It dairy coral over here. We've got the chicken coops and we've got the tractor. So if you don't have those, obviously they won't be here when you load into the game. But if you do, this is exactly how it will look. So you can come over here, you can harvest a bunch of different crops, especially if you want to get started with gardening. Really good one. And obviously you can collect eggs and milk from the cows as well. My kind of thinking behind this is I wanted to have a massive community farm, and it's as if the residents that live around here, there's 3 or 4 families. My idea was that they supply the farm with the little crops that they grow. So I thought it'd be fun. But we've got the fruit trees here as well. Directly behind that is the farmer's market, and I absolutely love this lot. So let me just go on down. So we've got all the harvest stands around here that you can come and buy stuff from. We've got a small little cafe that you can grab something to eat and drink. We've got the lemonade stands, we've got all the fruit trees, and of course we've got a greenhouse at the back here where you can harvest more crops if you want to. You can even do a bit of fishing. There's a bunch of spawners around here. But I really love this lot. It's one of my favourite ones to use and play with when I come in game. So yeah, really, really love this one. Next up over here, this is a family that I pulled in from, I want to say Appaloosa Plains. I don't remember his original name, but I edited him and he's now called Hunter Forest. And he's got a German Shepherd called Wolfie over here. So this is Hunter. He's a farmer that supplies the farmer's market. So he lives alone in this massive house with his gorgeous little dog. And I left the lot exactly as it is. The only thing I added was some pet stuff for the dog. And I gave him this small garden outside here. So in my mind, he supplies the local farmer's market. So yeah, that's Hunter Forest. Moving on up next to that, we have this derelict old farm. Now, I made this lot originally because I was doing, in my personal game, I wanted to do like a Stardew Valley challenge, like what I'm doing in Animal Crossing, but I wanted to do it in Sims 3, where you kind of have an old derelict farm that's really run down and an absolute mess, and you have to obviously work your way up to a fantastic farm, maybe earn 1 million simoleons or something along that line. And I've got a very sweet family made for it, which is a young teenage girl, and all of her parents and grandparents have passed away. And I had a really cool story set up for it, so I will do that at some point. But honestly, it gets me emotional when I play it because her granddad comes back quite a lot when I put the grave out. But this is the farmhouse for it. So this isn't the one that I was using. The one that I was going to use for that story is in Appaloosa Plains. It's on a slightly bigger lot. But this is the one that I've put for this world. So it's very run down, very basic. There's barely anything in the house. Just a bedroom, absolute mess, dirty furniture. Yeah. And then obviously we've got all this space outside, but there's nothing there. So you'd have to really work to build it up. But that could be a fun one to use for a challenge if you want to. Or you can take it out and put a different lot here. Next up, we have Gracie Loveland. She was another sim that I pulled in from Appaloosa Plains because I've played with her before briefly in one of my games. Really like her character. She's a fun one. So she is here with her cat Baby Cakes somewhere about, probably inside the house. This is one of the older houses I built. It's meant to be like a rundown kind of cottage. So let me open this one up. Again, very, very basic. Yeah, there's her cat Baby Cakes. Just very, very basic, but it has got room to expand upstairs later if you was playing this house. Gracie also has her own garden and little mini orchard as if she supplies the farmer's market as well. So she is another one that is involved in that. Next to that, we've got a starter home, and this is one that you can actually start off with, and it's much nicer decorated, I believe, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so this is a little bit nicer decorated for a starter home, and it's quite spacious as well. So you've only got the one main bedroom, a little bathroom, but you've got room to eventually maybe pull this out and put a staircase in, and you can move upstairs or go a little bit further out the back. But I thought this was a lovely little cottage to have as a starter home. Really, really like this. Next to that, this is a house from Sunset Valley. It's one of my favourite houses to use and play in. This is my edited version of it. It's the Prairie Smile house. I do tend to change the interior decor of it, but now I have it saved so I don't have to keep doing it. But all I did is I changed the colour a little bit. When I move a sim in, I do much more extensive renovation to it. I've got a version of that saved. But I just took out one of the, because you've got 3 bathrooms up here normally. So I've added a nursery in one of them, and I've taken out the stairs that were here because it really made no sense to have stairs just to that. So for my version that I use, that is pretty much how I have it. Normally I have a big pool out the back in my other version as well, but I haven't done that for this world. I've just kept it simple so that it can be customized for whoever's playing it. Next up, we have Jackson Farmwell and his horse Chestnut. I only made one. I tried to make one of every pet in the world, but I didn't want to overrun it with pets because we all know that causes a lot of lag if you have so many pets running around. So I've got obviously the cat for Meredith. I've got Taylor Swift's cat and Grace's cat. We've got a dog, Wolfie, with Hunter, and then this one has a horse, Chestnut. So this is Jackson. He is a handsome little devil. Really like Jackson. Again, lives out in the country, typical countryman. Really, really love this character. I only added Chestnut the other day because I thought he's living on this big ranch style house with stables and things, but he doesn't have a horse, and I didn't have a horse in the world yet. So I did that just a couple of days ago, but he is a really lovely one to play with. That just leaves one more little starter home that we've got over here. Tiny little cottage, so cute. And this is our second starter home in this area. So very small, very cute, but a perfect little starting position, I think. And it's got its own garden to start you off as well. So you've got a bunch of trees, and you've even got pomegranates here, which is really cool. And you've got some grapes and some basic vegetables and fruits there. So I really love this. I think it turned out lovely. If we zoom on out, we've now seen this entire section here. So we're going to take a look at these couple of lots here, and then we'll move up to the lake. So starting on down here. So this is one of the little cabin style homes in this area. They're all meant to be sort of log or stony style cabins over here. This is one of them that's empty. It's just got 2 bedrooms, little kitchen area, dining, living room, but really nice little size. Makes a good early game house, I think, but it's not a starter house, obviously. Directly opposite that, this is one from the Sims 3 bin that I just changed up a little bit. I can't remember what it's called, to be honest with you, but it is in the Sims 3 bin. I just changed the outside a little bit. I did change the interior a little bit, mostly the colouring of the floor, I think, and the walls. I just toned it down a little bit. But very plain and simple, but you've got a couple of nice bedrooms in here. And again, you've got those lovely countryside views. So really, really like this house. Moving on up, we've got another version of that country house that we just saw, the little one. I think this one's very similar. Yeah, it's pretty much a duplicate of it. We've got 2 versions of it, because I think originally I had a sim living in this one, and then one was empty for you to use. This house is from France. I've just changed it up to look more of a stony log style cabin. You'll notice it's the house that's got the nectary sort of area out the back. But this is one of my newest favourite sims. This is Lolita Goth. Now, this is my tribute sim to Yasmin's Corner, another one of my favourite creators for Sims 3 and 4, but I only really play Sims 3 on YouTube. And she has got some amazing content about creating characters with intention, really cool legacy tips. And one of the things that I loved on her channel was when she shared updates of her personal game, where she had resurrected a sim called Lolita Goth that I never even knew existed in all the years I've played the game. But she'd resurrected Lolita, given her a makeover, and she'd moved her to Monte Vista, and she was now giving her the life that she never got to have. I absolutely loved this story. It was so fun, it was so creative, and I was obsessed with watching all the videos about her. So as a tribute to Yasmin's Corner for always inspiring me to play the game and giving me some really cool ideas, I recreated her based on how she made her. I think the hair is slightly different, but everything else is pretty much the same. And I brought her into the world, so she is my tribute to Yasmin. Really, really love this sim. She's super fun, and I want to do a similar story with her at some point myself in a personal game, because I love the idea of doing that. So let me open up this house and I'll just show you what it looks like. I've not changed too much. I just done the decor a little bit so it's more livable. So it still looks more like a log cabin, but we've got 2 really nice bedrooms, bathroom, and of course you've got all your standard living rooms down here. And she's got that area outside if she decides to do anything with that. But that is Lolita. And now we've just got the last couple of lots to see over here. So I've tried to include a grocery store and diner in all of the main areas, so you don't have to go all the way across town every time you need them. So this is the countryside version of the rabbit hole. It's just got some harvest stands outside. Next door to that is the watering hole, which comes from Barnacle Bay, I want to say. But I just edited it a little bit for this world. So I've added a few things in here. I don't think I've changed too much, but the decoration's a little bit different. And I mostly added this stuff up here just to make it a more fun lot to come and hang out in. Next up, we've got the diner. This is the rabbit hole diner. So you can't go inside this one, but really love how this turned out. I just changed the outside a little bit and added some tables for decoration. And with that, that is our entire countryside. So we're going to take a look at the lake, but then that just leaves 2 more areas to see. That just leaves the Supernatural Bay and the Bayou. So let's head on down to the lake and we'll start right over here. So again, we've got a few houses that are dotted around the lake here. Because I'm not in map view, I can't remember what I've named them, so I won't be able to tell you that, unfortunately. But this is what it looks like inside. So again, very plainly decorated, just meant to be a good starter. Not an actual starter, but a good place to start if you was to move into this house. Really love that one. Next to that, we've got one of the starter versions, I believe, that you can have. I think you can get this one unfurnished as a starter, but there is another one that's an actual starter. But again, very plainly decorated because it's quite expensive having this lakefront property. But just look at that view. Like, I love this area. It's so, so pretty. The green in the lake. Oh my God, I'm in love. Definitely one of my favourite areas on the island. But this is one of the small houses that you can have here. Next up, we have another little cabin here. And again, this is a small little start. We've got a little bedroom, bathroom, living area, and a very basic kitchen. Again, you've got those beautiful views. But again, a nice little early game house. And then this is our last house. And this was actually inspired by a cabin that I used to visit in Wales with family. It's called the Murray Lodge. And I really love the layout of it, so I've kind of replicated it in this game. But this time it's overlooking this lovely lake. So we've got 2 bedrooms here. We've got a really nice open plan kitchen, diner, living room. And we've got a hot tub out on the deck and barbecue area with some amazing views yet again. Really love this. It's probably my favourite one in the area. And we've got 2 community lots over here. The first one is this fishing lot. So inside is just mainly some bathrooms and a place to grab some food or quick snacks. You can purchase boats here as well, but this lot is set up to be like a fishing spot. There's tons of spawners around here for fishing. It's meant to be quite a rich deposit of fish, we'll say. So that is a really good spot to come for fishing. And then over the other side, we have this lakefront restaurant. So this has got some bistro menus where you can have an actual sit down meal. So I've gone for like a blue theme in here, kind of made sense, but we've got the bistro oven again, so if you don't have that, just pop a register in. This is a really nice place to come and grab some food and sit by the lake because you've got those gorgeous views again. And that is our lake. Now the only other thing I want to mention is you'll notice these 2 spots over here. These are meant to be the remnants of an old crater. And the reason I put these in is because I wanted a place to have into the future nanite spawners that made sense. Because I don't want to include all the future spawners, but things like nanites, I didn't want to have to go all the way to the future to get if I was doing bot building or anything like that. So what you'll see, it looks as if it's like a little crater that got destroyed, but nanites will spawn here. So if you're doing anything like that and you want to get some nanites without having to go to the future, check both of these craters because they do spawn them. And that's all we need to see there. Let's move over to the supernatural bay. Now, we've got this gorgeous waterfall area here, which is a fishing spot. So this is a really nice place to come over and fish. We've then got the Enchanted Forest Park. And this is meant to be more of a mystical area where you've got the Fountain of Youth, you've got the Wishing Well, and you've got the Trees of Prosperity. There's a bunch of fun gnomes that spawn over here as well. Really love this little lot. Very, very cute. We've got the fairy lot here. I forget what it's called. The Arboretum. Is it the Arboretum? Arboretum? I don't know. We've got that here. And there's some little mushrooms and things that spawn around it. But that is where your fairy lot is. We've then got this house over here, which I believe is an edit from one in the bin. I didn't build this, but I just changed it up. It's meant to be very bright and purple for this area. So that's the maroon house. And then we have one of 2 fairies that are over in this area. This first one, this is Freya Bloom. Really love this character. She is so cool. And we have another fairy on the other side, which I'll show you in just a moment. But this is her house. We've got the Rookery. This is a house from the bin as well that I just pulled in, and I pulled it in last minute because I only just made this character. I realised I didn't have a genie and I really wanted a genie. So I made this guy, which is Aladdin, obviously inspired by the movie. Let's zoom out a little bit. But the house is exactly as it is in the bin. I haven't edited it in any way, so that will be exactly as you would have seen it. So I won't open this one up, but this is Aladdin. Directly opposite him is our second fairy. This is Luna Rose. She is one of my favourite ever Sims that I've created. Really, really love her. She's got the gorgeous purple hair, and I've played many variations of her with different hair colours, but really love this character. She's really fun. And this is her house. Now, this is called Spellbrook House, and it's one that I downloaded, but it's the other one that I can't find the original link for. So if anyone does know it, please let me know so that I can add it properly. But this is exactly as it comes. Beautiful, witchy, fairy style cottage. Really love this and thought it was perfect. And that is Luna Rose. So that's all of our residents. We've got one more house over here. This is another one that I just edited from the bin, I believe. Residential lots are not my favourite, so editing from the bin is usually the easier way to go. But this is what the house looks like. And that's the last one for this area. Now we're going to check out my favourite lot in this entire area, and that is Magic School. This is one of the lots I created first, and I absolutely love this. I knew that when I created this world, I wanted an actual magic school kind of place that you could come and learn the alchemy and witchcraft and all the fun skills like that. So let's take a closer look at it. Now, this acts as your alchemy store. So let me pop the walls up just so we can get a better idea of what it's like. So when you come in here, you can walk through this section. This is your alchemy register when the salesperson is here. And you can see it's decorated with wands and potion bottles and stuff. And then right in here is a little communal kitchen. We've got some seating areas. And then out the back, we've got the cow plant. We've got some soothsayer crystal balls. And of course, we've got the broom riding set up with a viewing area if people are watching the show. And that is the lower floor. We've also got these two little hedge mazes, and you'll see some spawners pop up here with gems and bugs and things like that. So definitely check on those. Upstairs is where we've got the quote unquote classrooms. So in one room, we've got potions and alchemy. In the other one, we've got the spell books, and these are meant to be teachers' desks. We've also got a couple of dorm style rooms. So if you did want to stay overnight when you're working on skills or get some sleep, you can. And upstairs leads to bathrooms for them as well. Now, there's a secret passageway here that takes you to a staircase that will bring you upstairs. And this is where you can come and smelt metals, cut gems, you can learn more spells and potions, and you can harvest some very important herbs and materials for alchemy up here as well. So that is our magic school, and it is one of my favourite lots ever. Really, really love it, and I hope you do too. Now, there's a couple of other little things to see over here. We have a very small, basic beach area. Nothing too fancy. We do have the lifeguard chair and some fun activities, some bathrooms, but mostly this is meant to be a very peaceful beach. On the other side, we have the diner from Barnacle Bay. I thought this was a fantastic spot for it with that view behind. And I just added some decorations out the front of some tables, some fire pits and some chairs and things like that. Final lot in this area is a port. So if you did want to come and dock your boat over here near the magic school or the supernatural area, you've got a port where you can do just that. I can't believe it. I know it's going to be about 2 hours long, this video. So if you've stuck with me this long, I hope that means you're really excited to play in this world. But we have one more area to check out, and that is the Bayou. And this is one of my favourite areas as well. So let's start over here. Now, this was inspired by Twilight. I wanted a place that referenced La Push Beach. So we have a very basic beach over here. No lifeguard chair at this one. We just have the bunch of driftwood around. We have a fire pit. Oh no, we do have a lifeguard chair. I forgot, I must have added that. But we have the fire pit, the bonfire, and that's supposed to reference James Island that you look out and see from the beach. And of course you can go surfing just like the guys did in Twilight. So not meant to be an exact replica, of course, it's just inspired by it. I wanted to have a beach in this area. Moving on up, we have got a port on this side as well. So if you would like to have a houseboat in this area, you've got a port that you can come and dock your boat at. And now we get to the actual Misty Bayou. Now, I love the whole ambience of this area. It's just so cool and swampy and foggy. And there are a bunch of cool little homes here. Now, I believe I pulled in a few starter homes from Moonlight Falls for this area. So you'll see those around. But we've also got some trailers to look at as well. So this is one of the homes. And this is one of the starters you get in Moonlight Falls. I just edited it a little bit. Oh no, I didn't actually. This is exactly how it comes, I believe. I think it does anyway. But yeah, so this is exactly how that house comes then. And I just added that in here because it is a really cool starter home to have. I really like this one. We've got another house over here, which I believe can be a starter home as well. This is a slightly bigger one. We've got a couple of bedrooms here. And this is another EA lot. I didn't build this one. I just pulled it in from the bin. In the middle of all these homes, we've got this little park. And all this is meant to be like a little bonfire part. This kind of references that time when Bella sits with Jacob around the fire and learns of Quileute legends. So I thought it'd be a fun little park to have here, especially because Jacob's house is right next door. So talking of which, if we head to this side here, we have that same starter home from Moonlight Falls that we've already seen. But I've just changed the outside colour to fit them more. But we have Jacob and his father, Billy, over here. Jacob is, of course, a werewolf. He's got his bike and a fixer-upper car. And we've got Billy's truck right here. Moving on over here, this is our trailer park area. So we've got a few rundown little trailers here. We also have the fortune teller cart. I'll just give it a chance for the rest of the textures to load. So we've got our fortune teller cart, which has got some alchemy spawners as well. It's got the fortune telling set, the magic mirror, and the jelly bean bushes. But then we've got a couple of trailers around the outside. Now, I won't go into all of them because they are pretty much all the same, apart from a few changes when it comes to colouring. So I'm just going to show you the one that's occupied, and then you have an idea. But these are starter homes. And in this one, we have our last sim to see, which is Lincoln Blake. He is another single bachelor inspired by the 100. Not meant to be him, but that's where he got his name from. And he lives in this trailer here. They all have this actual layout pretty much. Just the colouring and decor will be a little bit different. So if you want to start off rough in a little tiny trailer, this is the area for you. The only one that's slightly different is this one here, which is the Gypsy Shack. I was originally going to make a sim for this one, but I haven't just yet. I may do it in the future, or I may just leave it as is. But this one's a little bit different. Similar layout, but this one has an outside bathroom. Now, this has a grocery store as well over here. So we've got that right here with some harvest stands. Next to it is one of my favourite little bars that I've made. This is called Sully's Saloon. And this is a really cool little bar to come to. Let's just pop the lights on. So this is meant to be a supernatural style bar. We've got a performance area here, a nice professional bar. And then upstairs, we've just got some fun activities for you to come and do that fits in with the theme of the area. And finally, we have our diner here as well. That is the rabbit hole. I just added the outdoor tables. And with that, we've just got one more lot to see. Now, I have the grind over here, but I have heavily edited this lot, and I use this in a lot of worlds now. So let me open this up and just show you what it looks like. So on the downstairs, it's just mainly the colouring that's different, and I've added a few items like the kegs and the photo booth, the slot machine. But I added this really cool outside area as well, where you can come out and look over the Misty Bayou. We've got some fun arcade machines and bubble bars. And then upstairs, we've got a really cool performance area, a second bar, and a bunch of nice tables and things. Obviously a dance floor, but that is my full version of the grind. And I kept it the same name because, you know, that's what I know it as. There's one more beach area back here that's meant to be a much quieter, more empty kind of beach. So there's just some fire pits, some chairs, and the surf machine. Nothing much here, but that is one more beach that we have. And I believe we've now seen everything. Let me just double check that I haven't missed anything. If you see anything that I haven't gone down and looked at that you want to see, do let me know. But if I have, you'll be able to see them in game too. So hopefully you'll enjoy checking everything out yourself in more detail. But oh, yes, we did miss a lot. We missed the nectary. So there's one more here, the chateau. I forgot about this lot because it's up in the hills. So this is the chateau, which is a nectary that I've made for the world. So you can come here, you can grab something to eat, you can buy nectar from here, and you can obviously taste it as well. And then upstairs, if you want to come and stay overnight, kind of like a little retreat, you can do that too, just like you can in the one in France. Out the back here, this is where you can come and harvest all the grapes from France. And you can also learn nectar making. Got a bunch of nectary machines, so you can actually learn nectar making as well. And I'm just going to have one more once over to make sure I didn't miss anything else. But that one's hidden up in the hills, so it was quite an easy one to miss. But I believe we've actually seen everything now. Yeah. Wow. I hope you've enjoyed this if you've managed to watch the whole thing. And if you haven't, and maybe we're just excited to download it and try it yourself, I hope you have a lot of fun with it. All of my links are in the description box below. So if you'd like to tell me about your save, or if you're enjoying the world, or if you've got any questions, anything like that, do let me know. Tag me on social media. I'd love to see and hear about it. But that's it, guys. That's everything to see in the world. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you have as much fun in this world as I do. A lot of time and love went into it, and I hope that you guys have fun with it. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.